Episode 154.
Woo!
Whoops. There we go. Jamie's got us there. Zach was thinking it was 152. He's way off.
I was back in 2022.
That's right.
That's true. Technically very true. Welcome back to Submersion 2023, baby. How's everybody doing? We got we've not caught up since Christmas and New Year's now. Jamie's got some items for discussion tonight. I do as well. We don't have our El Capitan, so we're going to fill in the blanks. I know Kyle brings in just, a lot of joy, a lot of laughter, especially around this holiday season. We don't have them. We're going to try to bring the energy, though, the enthusiasm, the fun jib-jabs. What's going on, my boys?
All
Tell
right.
us about...
Up the top, I got these lists of questions. Some of them are for like now, some of them for the future, some of them for the way future. But I got to go back for one for the past. And the question is, do you guys remember when we were talking about Bond and like the new Bond, when you watched the Bond film, and that would have been 2022, not 2023, which is now, but the previous year, 2022. We were talking about Bond, right? And we were talking about the new Bond, the possibility of a new Bond. Did it ever come up? Because I know I mentioned like Timothy Chalamet, things like that, new Bond. Did we make sure to mention anything having to do with horny Bond? Like, how Roger Moore is like real horny as Bond in his. Did I make the point to say that I think they should return to that Bond?
Like to horny style Bond?
Yeah,
like that's what you think we should go back to?
It should be a Bond that is distracted and almost dies at least once a movie because he's like almost
horny.
And he's like almost seduced by a bad person, or he's so enthralled with someone that then he gets like in a jam as a result. Did I mention that?
If not, in No Time to Die, we've definitely mentioned it before because that was like the fourth Bond movie we've watched, and we've talked about we really miss the lecherous James Bond.
Okay, that was my first question. I just wanted to make sure. I was asking whether I brought that up. The answer seems to be no, and so I'm bringing it up now in 2020.
So you're on the record. We are putting it as Jamie wants more Roger Moore-esque Bond and buffoonery.
Yes, I want if they're going to go young Bond, young guys. What are they like? Maybe they're a little horny.
I saw they were looking at somebody for that role.
Aaron Taylor guy.
Aaron Taylor Johnson?
Yep.
Yeah, the guy that was on Bullet Train.
Right.
Also, Godzilla. Come on, guys.
Didn't I just see him in something? Aaron Taylor.
Bullet Train.
No, it's not Bullet Train. It was something else.
But Jamie, on the record, wants horny Bond back. You should get involved in like a civil case or something. And then when you're in the courtroom, you can say that on the record as one of your answers, very off topic to whatever question you get asked. Just so you get it on public record.
That's true.
You want horny Bond back, and then go into answering the question that was asked of you.
Oh, you know what it was? I just heard that someone was discussing the upcoming movie, Kraven the Hunter, speaking of 2023, and he plays Kraven the Hunter in...
Oh, is that a comic book movie?
Yeah, he is the titular Kraven the Hunter.
Okay.
That's where it had come up recently.
He's one of Spider-Man's villains.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm not a big comic book movie guy, but I remember reading all the Spider-Man comic books as a child. I remember Kraven. He always wore like animal pelts, and I was kind of the most dangerous game character. I forget what his name was. Starts with a Z. But very cool. Right. What else do you have there, Jamie?
Well, I think if you have a Christmas one, we can jump to that because my next one is a New Year's Eve one, a New Year's one.
Oh my goodness, this is very scripted.
It's very scripted.
What's your next one, Jamie? What do you got?
Resolution, New Year's resolutions.
Get 6-pack abs. This would be like the ninth year running for you, Jamie.
Yeah, no. Wait, is that yours or mine? Because mine is
yours.
6-pack abs. Yeah, no, you're right.
I've already got them.
This is the year.
You want to see them?
This is the year. I can feel it.
All right.
I can feel it in my abs.
Actually, it's going to be a topic of discussion later, but I have updated our spreadsheet after all these years. We're finally back up, caught up to speed, but it required me going back once again, listening to the catalog of Submersion episodes.
No, you did not.
At least heavy chunks of them. And Jamie resolved a few years ago that he was going to get 6-pack abs. And he said it was 4 years running, and that was in 2019. So he's up to like 6 or 7 years now.
One of these, it'll happen.
So
it'll happen.
I've genuinely been working towards that end, Jamie. I don't know if you're tongue in cheek, but I'm trying to get swole over here.
I am never tongue in cheek. It's all serious all the time with me.
Zach, you got a New Year's resolution?
No resolution, but if I had to give a theme, I would say I don't know, I haven't given it too much thought this time around. I've been kind of been more loosey-goosey with it. But I would say healthier choices. Let's stick with that. Healthier choices.
Is that food and physicality, or does that include, mental?
Well, no, that's why it's a theme. So it kind of like can be all-encompassing in kind of whatever way I guess I want to interpret that as. But just I think kind of like an overall like guiding light, It's like the healthier choices,
Sure.
So,
Sure. I mean, it's a little subjective, but
yeah.
Because you used to say what's healthy. Yeah. Maybe I like to do unhealthy things, but that's healthy for my soul. So which one wins?
Anybody else need to chime in? Anything notable, noteworthy? Christmas, we had negative 33-degree wind chills here. Took an extra hour and a half to get home with all of the ice and snow. Anything else exciting going on in your world around the holidays here? We had a wonderful Adam Sandler themed New Year's party at Zach's place.
It was a hoot.
I thanked him several times now, but Adam Sandler themed. I came dressed as Billy Madison in the dodgeball scene. Dodgeball in hand. I think I was a pretty compelling Billy Madison. I busted in and said, "Now you're all in big, big trouble."
That's pretty great.
It's a great entrance. 10 out of 10. Stellar.
Zach, who are you?
I was Bobby Boucher, the water boy.
Nice.
I had his number 9 jersey on.
Great deal on that jersey too. Zach said he got it online. It was a replica, $20.
$20. Amazon.
Did anyone show up as Johnny Spanglish?
Nope.
No Spanglish representation.
Zach's girlfriend was dressed as Scuba Steve.
Yep, Scuba. We had a Scuba Steve. We had
Happy Gilmore. Denz was dressed as Happy Gilmore, which was awesome. Gilmore. He looked great.
We had what was the pair?
Anyone
Daddy?
over? Anyone was it
Big
Overboard?
Daddy.
What was it? Not Overboard.
Overboard? That was like his first movie ever.
Not Overboard. Well, whatever. That one. But that one's pretty notable because you could just look at the poster and he's got like swimmies on and all that stuff. It'd be very easy to be like, oh, that's that one.
No. But great time. Thanks again, Zach. We had pickle races. We had Adam Sandler trivia.
Yeah.
A lot of Adam Sandler themed foods and drinks. It was a good time. But here we are.
I can't live up to that because like the only thing I did was Christmas in Connecticut. Threw that on the television and enjoyed my submarine movie on Christmas Day.
I meant to mention that. I was glad to see that you watched that. That was a good one. We watched that, I think, for Christmas 2 years ago, maybe. Might have been last year. I think it was 2 years ago. But again, highly recommended by everyone on the podcast. Even Zach, who doesn't like the old movies. It's still the Christmas season, the octave of Christmas. I think we just passed it now by like a day or two. But if you need a good, feel-good submarine holiday movie, Christmas in Connecticut, a good one. But let's dive this sub.
Dive!
What began as an innocent conversation among friends would soon spiral out of control and later be referred to by future generations as the eighth wonder of the modern world. Mac East Studios takes you on the journey of your lifetime as your captains, the artist formerly known as Brom, Jamie the Ointment, Kyle El Capitan, and the Gruesome Twosome present Submersion.
Okay, so this week, again, episode 150. Did I say 154 earlier?
You did.
You did.
Shit.
And I said 152. What is it?
It's 153.
Oh my God. Split the difference. We should have known.
It's because I typed in the dang movie on the spreadsheet that I got updated over here, and I was jumping ahead now to 154, which has got a blank.
Go back to the front of this episode and edit it to say 3. Actually, I want to hear.
I'll say it with the same enthusiasm. You can overlay it. Episode 153.
See, no, what I want is 153, but it to be 153, and it just be Kyle's voice.
153.
That's the kind of editing Kyle and I would do back in the day in college.
Yeah,
a la Christopher Columbus, the movie. Not to ever be seen again. Episode 153, though, we've got another blockbuster. I promise you, we're going to get back into just full blown submarine content. A lot of life on the sub.
So. Yeah,
Kyle's got some stuff for us. There's so many more out there that we just haven't watched. But we're just kind of in like a 3-episode arc now where technically 4 in a row now. That's just not really super sub-centric. That theme continues as we watched Hollywood blockbuster Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom a la 2018.
The middle episode.
The middle of the 3 Jurassic Worlds.
The middle.
I'm very curious.
The middle.
He's already playing some fart sound effects. I'm very curious because I don't want to step on anyone's heels here, but I know Zach is a huge Jurassic Park fan. Speaking of New Year's parties, last year's New Year's party theme was Jurassic Park.
Wow.
So I'm curious if he's going to kind of dovetail with me and the world at large kind of in our analysis and review of this film here. But we'll find out here shortly.
It's true.
After Jamie's recap of it. Real quick, though, Zach, you want to share who starred in this film?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it. Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, the cast. We have Chris Pratt as Owen Grady. Woo! Next, Bryce Dallas Howard. You know her. She's that dang old Claire Deering. Woo! Then there's Rafe Spall as Eli Mills. And don't you forget about wacky old Justice Smith as Franklin Webb. Then there's good old Daniela Pineda as Zaya Rodriguez.
Pineda.
Then there's
I'm pretty
James
sure Rafe
Cromwell
is how you pronounce the
as Sir Benjamin Lockwood. And then there's good old Toby Jones as Mr. Eversole. Then you got Ted
Toby
Levine
Jones.
as Ken Wheatley. And I had to get down to this person in the list. B.D. Wong as Dr. Henry Wu. He's back. He's back. Oh my God, he's back. Then you got a few of the other ones sprinkled in there at the end. Isabella Sermon as Mazzy Lockwood. Geraldine Chaplin as Iris. Mr. Jeff Goldblum as Dr. Ian fucking Malcolm.
Barely.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tease. It's a tip tease.
I gotta
He's
say,
a tip tease in this movie.
2 things. 1, B.D. Wong looks amazing. It's incredible. I don't even understand. And I don't know if you guys watched the newest one. That would have been 2022. This year, the Dominion came out. B.D. Wong's in it. He's 62. 62 years old. 62
He looks like he's 35.
Old. He looks like, when they were like, oh, he was like in the original, I was just like, what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. It's incredible.
He's 62 years old. It's insane.
Yeah. And then
that's unbelievable. I was wondering why you guys are getting so worked up about him. Like, who's this guy? He's like he just looks like he's one of us.
No. And then my first of 3 in recap questions. Chris Pratt, hot or not? What do you guys say?
Hot or not? I was like,
Yes. No, he's hot.
As a heterosexual guy.
I absolutely. He's hot, and I like his personality and his characters that he plays. Like I genuinely enjoy seeing him in movies and in roles.
I was going to kind of make a note of that in my review. I feel like this isn't typical Chris Pratt, though. I feel like he's typically on point, has some great witticism. Those Chris Pratt, that Chris Pratt wit you get with Guardians of the Galaxy. And
I think
Parks
he'll be
and
back this year. He's going to be back because of Guardians of the Galaxy #3 coming out 2023. Year of the Pratt.
The writing was flat for him here. Anyone else we need to mention? Toby Jones, I remember him from Detectorist. Justice Smith was in that game that dropped this past year. What was that werewolf game, Zach? Zach fell asleep?
That werewolf.
No, I'm sorry. Say that again.
The people that made Until Dawn.
Oh, what about him?
The Justice Smith is like the protagonist in the new game that you guys played this year.
Oh yeah, in the cabin. The
Can't remember what it's called. Ted Levine is Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs, but
and Captain Leland Stottlemyre in Monk.
All right, should we get into this?
Yeah, jump on in there, Jamie. We've delayed you long enough.
I do find this kind of funny on Wikipedia where it says shortly after the events of Jurassic World, because we open and a mercenary team is arriving on Isla Nublar, where Jurassic World was previously held. And Jurassic World, of course, famously in the news because it got destroyed by dinosaurs. And everyone left kind of the dinosaurs alone over there. And they're there to collect DNA. And they're basically like, there's like a little submersible. Only submarine action we have of the movie. I swear to God, I thought there was way more submarine action in this film. Apparently I was wrong. It's just a submersible. Whatever. Sue me. And so the submersible is going along. And they're like, there's no dinosaurs here. Like, right? Like, oh, they would have died by now, right? And it's like, wait, but it's shortly after the events, guys. It's just shortly after those events.
Right.
But anyways, they get in there. They get into the gate. They're submersibling around. And there, behind them is a giant dinosaur. And so they get totally munched. No big deal. And everyone on the island is like, hey, we can't find him. We can't find him. So they start running away and they, hop on their helicopter. They're going away. The last person hops in the ladder and he's like, yeah, we effing did it. But then that giant sea creature comes up and crushes him too.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
That's our opening. 3 years later, and one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and it only gets funnier if you guys actually seen Dominion. Dominion, it goes off the rails. This whole thing goes off the rails. But here it's the United States Senate comes out and they've been debating, are we going to save the dinosaurs? And they announced to the world, United States Senate, no, we're not saving the dinosaurs. And I was like, ew, why? But why? Why are you guys debating this? First of all, I'm going to come off a callous guy right now, but let the dinosaurs die. I'd say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let them die.
No, I'm going to cut in then. If we're having this conversation right now, then we need to have it. And you don't have to apologize for that, Jamie, because that's the right question.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the answer to the question. You let them die.
The volcano is erupting.
That's the whole point of what Ian Malcolm is saying.
Everything volcano is erupting. Take that opportunity to, because guess what?
Yeah.
What's going to happen? You're going to have to hunt all those dinosaurs later anyways. You're going to have to hunt them. You're going to have to hunt them.
Stupid.
And the other thing, you already recreated them from trace DNA you had from all these millions of years ago. You can certainly, I'm sure, do it again if you really want to try again.
Good point. Anyways, there's an old guy. So John Hammond's long dead, but there's another guy apparently. This is one of the worst developments of this portion of the franchise, where they're just basically like, oh, Hammond, yeah, he had another guy too who was just like Hammond, and he's also in a house up in California though. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, are we going over this again? This is exactly Lost World.
Yeah.
In Lost World, Malcolm was taken to the weird house when Hammond begged him to go back to the island and blah blah blah. And here we have Lockwood, a person we've never met before, who apparently was Hammond's partner, and we never heard about him. Oh, but he was doing some controversial stuff, so they broke it off, and we never heard about him before. Great, cool. So they just had to replace the old man with another old man, and then they kill him off. Anyways, it's just crazy because it's oh, we need a new old man. Oh, now he's dead. It's no, you're just gonna need another old man later. Later, you have to be there's a third one actually, a third one who did even worse stuff. So. Anyways, he has a friend or aide who kind of runs everything. His name is Eli Mills. When me and Patrick saw this person on screen, we were like, bad guy. He just got a bad guy face. He's basically walking around with his bad guy face, being like, I'm a bad guy. And you're like, cool, great. But he's pretending not to be a bad guy. And he asked Claire.
He was a bad guy in a Black Mirror episode. One of my favorite Black Mirror episode, White Christmas. He's
like Rami Malek. He can't show up without you being like, Jesus, you're a bad guy. And so he's trying to get Claire, from the first film, to go back and help them collect the dinosaurs. She's been advocating for their survival, and so they're gonna have her. Hey, do you know anyone? Big question for the film. Do you know anyone who maybe could possibly help us track down some of the dinosaurs over there? Who maybe has some experience with training and tracking dinosaurs? And she's like,
my ex-boyfriend.
I think I might know someone, guys. And so in walks Owen. He's building a cabin, as Owen would want to do. And he's like, not interested, let them die, basically. But I think it's with kind of kind of dangles Blue, right? Oh, Blue's there. And he's like, oh, God, fucking damn.
Yep.
I got to get Blue. Okay, so off they go. They go out there. She's brought along some of her help from the nonprofit that she has advocating for the dinosaurs. A tech guy, he's real like nerdy, and then like a vet who is basically it seems to be one of those things like a theoretical like dinosaur vet who's never seen a dinosaur. Anyways, they're on the island. They reactivate the tracking system for all the dinosaurs, but basically while they're going there, and Owen goes off to find Blue, but as they're there, the volcano starts erupting, and we get this big action sequence. Everyone's running from the volcano. We're running from the volcano. Oh, we have to get into the clear plastic balls. Remember those from the first film? They're rolling down a thing. They roll into some water. I actually thought this scene was pretty cool because they end up in this plastic ball and they can't get out. Owen has to... he gets like double crossed and they capture Blue away from him, but he's now running from the volcano too, and he has to help them out of this plastic ball. And they eventually get on land and they realize, oh my God, they tricked us. They were bad guys. Who would have thought? No audience member could have predicted this. But they were looking down and they're basically like, oh, they just needed Blue. I mean, basically they just needed us to find Blue. That was the main purpose. That's the only reason why they brought the few people that could possibly sabotage their plan with them. Because who else could possibly turn on the tracking system and find Blue like Owen did? And so that ends up being kind of the point. They're able to sneak back on to the boats where they have all the dinosaurs heading off. And you do get actually, this was one scene that I thought was very successful, which was they're kind of floating away on the boat. They're able to jump onto the boat. It's a big action scene, but like they're floating away and they look back on the island as it's kind of getting destroyed by the volcano. And there's a big, brontosaurus. You know, I guess I shouldn't say it's definitely a brontosaurus since there's all kinds of weird dinosaurs they throw at you. Yeah. So they'd be like, that's actually
that's a diplodocus. Yeah.
Yeah. If I had a child, that child would probably be like, that's a brachiosaurus. And I'd be like,
would they
cool
sound
kid.
like that too?
Yeah, definitely. And they bring out their book. They be like, check out my dinosaur book. And I'd be like, okay. All right, kid. Anyways.
You're going to make a great father, Jamie.
Well, yeah, I'm going to love all that shit. I'd be like, show me more dinosaurs, please. That'd be my voice now that I'm a dad. That's what Kyle sounds like nowadays. Anyways, they're floating away. And I thought that was actually kind of a beautiful view in the end. Although the sentiment was lost on me as I was like, destroy them all, bring them back to the island, let the volcano destroy them. And so anyways, they get back to land.
The Bronchosaurus there did the same pose it did from the first movie.
So there we go.
The original like Jurassic Park.
Pulling at my heartstrings.
Callback. Yeah.
And so they're able to, at this point, it's kind of funny, and I'll get into a little bit with the background of the production or whatever. At this point, it basically turns into a haunted house film because they get back to California and they are able to kind of sneak along with the people to where they're taking the dinosaurs. It's Lockwood's mansion. Basically, all of these dinosaurs, this giant container ship, everything. The basement of this mansion is ginormous because it's fitting all these dinosaurs in it. And they're basically like, oh, we're going to definitely sneak in. But they don't because they're captured. Someone sees them and they're like, oh, those people shouldn't be here. And they're all captured. And they're put in a cell in the basement. Meanwhile, there's a girl who lives with Lockwood, who's his quote unquote granddaughter. We learn later that she's actually a clone of his daughter in the end, which it gets a little more complicated with the next movie. But anyways, she's kind of around and she loves dinosaurs and she's basically like, this is terrible. What are you guys doing? Oh no. And so she's kind of like doing her own thing. And she's also like fighting against them to the point where Mills, the evil guy, Lockwood is kind of like, hey, you're evil. And then he just like kills him. And it's basically like, hey, now you're my daughter or whatever to the girl. It's real crazy. Anyways, they're down in now our heroes are down in a cell and they're basically like, how are we going to get out of here? Well, how they're going to get out of here is by having some dinosaur. They throw out all these names. I think I'd say Wikipedia says it's a Stygimoloch. Stygimoloch. That's the dinosaur. Anyways, it smashes through the wall and then their cell and lets them free. And they're able to go up and they find
head ramming dinosaurs.
Head ramming, yeah. They got the one with like the head ramming one. And so they look down and what's going on there? Uh-oh, this isn't just a haunted house filled with dinosaurs. This is a haunted house filled with dinosaurs where they're selling dinosaurs to weapons dealers. Uh-oh. So this gets to my second in recap question for you guys. I invite you. Hey, I got a couple tickets. Zach, I got two tickets. Dinosaur auction. You want to go with me? Well, I got a +1. I was invited because I'm a well-known weapons dealer, but you are my +1. Are you in?
Yes.
You don't have to bid, Zach. You can just have fun. And
Just
drink.
have fun.
Drink
Open
for
bar,
free.
open bar, baby. All right, and then I go to Brom and I go, hey, Brom, Zach wrote me into this stupid dinosaur auction. I don't want to go with him at all. He smells. Do you want the ticket?
Yes.
Oh, he takes it. Now I go back to Zach and I say, yo, Zach, Brom, he got a ticket too, but he said he's not going to go if you're going to go because you're smelly. He doesn't like your smell.
Ah.
So what do you do now? Are you still going to go, or are you going to basically be like, Brom, deal with the smell?
I mean, I'm out.
Oh, wow, you don't go. So now I got the ticket again, and I go with Brom, which was the original plan in the first place. Done and done.
Wow.
All right. Anyways,
So cunning.
glad we answered that auction question.
That was one of your questions.
That was one of the questions. So anyways, they're trying to sell, one of the big things they're trying to sell is called an Indoraptor. It is funny. Some of these fake dinosaurs have Wikipedia pages. No, but it's an Indoraptor. It's a weaponized transgenic dinosaur, which is essentially a velociraptor that they can shoot a laser at someone, and then the velociraptor knows to go and kill that person or that dinosaur, I guess. I'm sure it kills anything you point the laser at. And so they're like, we got to break up this auction. And so they go out and they do just that. Basically, they release that head ramming dinosaur all over the place.
Can we just talk for a second about the cost of these dinosaurs? Like what these dinosaurs were going for?
I would love to. What were they going for?
They were going for like $10 million or like $20 million. Like for a freaking dinosaur.
Are you
That
saying
seems
that's
really low.
You think it's low?
That's what I'm thinking.
It seems really low.
I don't know.
It seems really low.
Insanely low.
They're kind of making.
Consider that you're taking them from an island, this entire freaking dinosaurs to an island, from an island to another place, to a guy's house in the basement, and you're trading them with drug lords and shit. And they're just buying them for $10 million a pop.
I was going to counter this point because it's all cloning technology, but you're right. They're not selling the cloned dinosaurs, and they seemed pretty clear that they wanted to get those dinosaurs off that island. So I don't know how much their cloning technology is going to benefit them in the future. Right now, it is truly, supply is low. Demand seems quite high. That price should be jacked up.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many ways I'm sure you can monetize them. They're thinking like weapons and whatnot, but
Are you thinking like milk and cheese? Milks and cheeses?
Dinosaur milks.
And cheeses. Don't forget
And cheeses.
All right. Anyways, they basically disrupt this whole auction. At this point, people start getting totally owned by these dinosaurs, which is what we all came for in the first place. I was surprised at how kind of horror movie it got at certain points in this. Since we have kind of like a little girl who's like, I'm one of the heroes. But also there's like a dinosaur chasing her across a darkened rooftop and like a dinosaur totally eating several people in this scene.
I guess that is, Jamie, that is this director though. Like, I guess, yeah, J.A. What is it, Bayona? But I guess he does horror films.
I know. Yeah, I think the how gruesome Ted Levine's death was in particular, I was surprised. Where I think his arm is ripped off and he's like basically crying in a cell as the Velociraptor. It was one of the funnier things is that at this point Ted Levine's character, he shoots the Velociraptor or the Indoraptor with a tranquilizer. And the Indoraptor's like, oh, and like falls down and like is like asleep basically.
Playing possum.
But playing possum. And it's just like, I don't care. I think they lost a little bit of a grasp of how smart these dinosaurs are. Because in the first Jurassic Park, they're basically like fumbling with a door handle. And then they like open a door and people are like, whoa, look at how smart these dinosaurs are. It like opened a door. And now it's like, I know what your reaction to me getting shot with a tranquilizer should be. And I'm going to pretend, even though I'm a clone dinosaur that's never interacted with humans, I'm going to pretend to be, asleep so then I can murder you. And that's like a pretty sophisticated dinosaur, no? Am I wrong? That seems pretty sophisticated.
I would agree.
Okay.
I agree.
I mean, this is like it's supposed to be like the killing machine, just like expert hunter.
I mean, I guess at this point, maybe I shouldn't let them
Alpha
get destroyed
predator.
by a volcano because this velociraptor or Indoraptor. Sorry, I keep saying the wrong dinosaur.
Well, this one wasn't technically in jeopardy because this was like created after the fact.
No, I know, but it's got a human brain, so maybe I should be a little bit more sympathetic to its survival. You know, so it's seemingly just as smart as a human.
Yeah.
Anyways, now a bunch of the dinosaurs are loose, wreaking havoc. They're getting chased across rooftops, all this stuff. Blue saves them from the Indoraptor because the Indoraptor's chasing after them, all this kind of stuff. They're up on the rooftops. And then eventually Blue kind of like knocks it off the rooftop and it ends up getting impaled. Is that this?
Yeah, it gets impaled on a Triceratops.
Yeah. And Blue is basically like, is kind of the
king of the world.
T-Rex. Yeah. Is a bit of the T-Rex in this case in terms of saving everyone. In this case, purposefully, because Blue is their friend. And so then, all the dinosaurs are in danger, though, because the lab, like dinosaurs are wreaking havoc. Now the lab is going to spew poisonous gas all over the place. And the dinosaurs are going to be destroyed by this gas. And oh my God, we've got a toy problem here. It's the exact same issue we had at the beginning. Should we let these dinosaurs die? Just like with the volcano. Or should we set them free? And basically Claire's sitting there and she's like, no, because Chris Pratt's he's like, oh my God, I own Grady. He's like, no, we can't. But then, wait a second, Clone Girl shows up. She hits the button.
Clone Girl does it.
And she looks over and says, they are living beings too, just like me. So they deserve to live. And everyone goes, yeah. And I'd be the one being there like, what the
No. Yeah, we immediately just have to kill them all.
You just destroyed the ecology. We have to destroy these dinosaurs now. Everyone's going to be hunting dinosaurs. Are you going to be hunting dinosaurs? No, I'm going to be hunting dinosaurs. I'm Owen Grady. I got to hunt dinosaurs for the rest of my life now because of you. Thank you. That's not my job. The end.
You're exactly right.
There you go. No, that's great.
Well, they say, before the end, like they have Jeff Goldblum once again saying like, well, now we have to learn, like it's like real dramatic. We have to learn how to coexist with these beasts. And it's like them running down the hills of Los Angeles and like through the forests and woods and whatnot. I was like, no, this is so fucking stupid.
And so are we all in agreement? This was one of my last question of the end thing. Are we all in agreement? We would not save those dinosaurs, part 2.
Correct.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You do not save the dinosaurs.
Don't save the dinosaurs.
I would be less inclined to save them here than the island too. Like the island's like, okay, well at least like if we move them, we can put them into a new zoo on a new island or new facility. Or
Have you seen Dominion? This is my first post recap question. Have you guys seen Dominion?
Okay, yes, absolutely yes, because I love Jurassic Park for the franchise.
Because they kind of do that in that second one. It kind of doesn't work out so well, but they move them to a new place and it doesn't really work out.
I'm not saying I would do that, but at least there's the outlook that like, okay, we grab them from this island, we move them to some new temporary cells and into a more permanent location on another island or something.
Yeah. I also
now the second dilemma is like, no, you're releasing them just like into mainland. Like, I'm not worried. Like, we're going to let them loose. I'm confident in the United States military and whoever else to, like, trophy hunters and whoever, just to, like, kill them all off. But, like, now, like, we have to go through all that. Because, they can't just coexist with us.
That is the funniest part of the opening of Dominion, where they're basically like, and dinosaurs are now coexisting with us. And you're not allowed to hunt them. And I'm like, why not? like, what? We're not allowed to hunt them. The dinosaurs that clearly are wreaking havoc across the land and like eating people. They're showing people getting eaten by dinosaurs. Like, no, we can't shoot them. It's like, no, obviously we would be allowed to shoot them. Just like if there was a lion let loose in a neighborhood, they'd be like, yeah, we got to shoot that lion. I'm sorry. Yeah. It doesn't get to coexist with us. Sorry, lion.
Yeah.
Even if the lion was like super cute. Even if it was super cute.
That's right.
So we're all in agreement, though.
We're all in agreement.
I would be hunting dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Whether legal or illegal, people would be hunting those dinosaurs.
That is the recap, guys.
Congratulations. Excellent job.
All right, who's reviewing first? Jamie's always second. So, Zach, do you want to jump in or you want me to do it?
Yeah, I'll just jump in, get mine out of the way. It'll be kind of short. So I do love Jurassic Park and the franchise and a lot of these movies. And I was a huge fan of Jurassic World. I really am. I like that movie. But this movie sucked. It's not a good movie. Did it look cool? Yes. It looked cool, but the storyline sucked. The characters weren't interesting. I don't really think any of the characters really changed in most of the movie. And then the whole girl clone shit was just fucking bonkers. And then, yeah, we go back to the same point we already talked about. You kill the dinosaurs. You kill the dinosaurs. It's stupid. You kill the dinosaurs. So I feel like this was like Dominion. We talked about Dominion, and I think Dominion has like the worst overall rating on IMDb of all the Jurassic Park films. But I think this movie is the absolute worst Jurassic Park film in the entire franchise. I don't think this movie, I mean, you could completely skip this fucking movie. Like, you don't even need to watch this and go into Dominion. Because, like, it's just there. It's just this piece that happened. The dinosaurs got off the island. And then they got, like, that's the thing. What happened in the whole movie? Well, dinosaurs got off the island. What was the whole fucking point of the house thing? Nothing. So that's 3. I'm going to give it a 3. And because the submarine shit sucked too. So a 3.
Wow. Right. I got a question for you, Zach. Would Ashlyn be disappointed with you right now?
No, she does not like this movie either.
Okay.
She might be disappointed with the 3. It's pretty harsh. I'm actually surprised I came in that low.
That's pretty hot.
So,
that's pretty hot.
I came in hot. But it got me hot. I feel it. It pisses me off. So
I'm not so surprised because I'm also pretty hot and bothered by this film. I didn't like it. I think it's better than Dominion, which I actually think some people would have some contention with. It did get better reviews than Dominion, but still, I think there's some people that would come in and be like, no, actually Dominion's better. But Fallen Kingdom's bad, but it has some moments, has some visuals, has some atmosphere, has things like that. I just think it's incredibly stupid. I can't believe that some of these plot points made its way into the actual like script in the end, and no one was sitting there being like, "How about let's maybe not do that. Let's just like skip that part of it or whatever." And so I just and Dominion gets even stupider. That's like the crazy thing is like it gets even dumber as it kind of goes along. And so even though I remember liking Jurassic World, this one it's kind of nuts. And I was kind of going insane because I watched both of them back to back. I watched Fallen Kingdom and then I watched Dominion, and it was like 5 hours of just like Jurassic World, like bad Jurassic World. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of going insane by the end of it. But still, because it's better than Dominion, it has those moments, kind of haunted house feel, some visuals that I liked, things like that. I'm still going to come in at a 4.5.
Okay.
You got me hooked on this idea of like this like haunted mansion style, or like you're starting to make me think like Resident Evil, like if like it was Resident Evil's like super facility with like the dinosaurs that escape in that, and like everyone's getting like trapped inside, and now you're like combating like technology, and like behind some doors there's gonna be like a velociraptor waiting for you and whatnot. There's so many opportunities for like great horror and like creative moments with this. And instead you get this, which is just like creativity is dead. It made me think of like Star Wars, how like the new trilogy somehow just like followed the exact same trajectory and storylines of the original trilogy back in the 70s and 80s.
Well, this is the same thing here, right? Because you think of this first one, then this one's Lost World. This is
Lost World.
Shockingly similar to Lost World, even though it should be very different. When you think of the beats, it very much is. Oh, an old man in a mansion told me to go to an island. We've now shipping dinosaurs back, and they're loose in San Diego. Yeah. Like, that's Lost World.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, at least Star Wars had, like, 2 trilogies before they started rehashing over the exact same terrain. Like, this is like, here's our first trilogy, and we're going to just follow the exact same storyline once again with the second trilogy. It's just, creativity is dead. You mentioned, I think Zach's one that kind of keeps reinforcing this J.A. Bayona being like a horror director, and this is supposed to be like a horror movie feel, like, and whatnot. It's probably hard to pull off. I acknowledge with the PG-13, what you're aiming for your, producers and everything want this to be PG-13. It makes it a little difficult and whatnot. But like, if I think of like the original Jurassic Park, how iconic that was and the suspense in that movie, if that kind of like is your corollary to like Alien, and then like the second movie is like Aliens, like you're going for the action one. Like this felt like this was going for the more action horror. It just fell so short though. It was just so lame. There's no suspense or thrills or anything really, and it just felt like it was so on rails. And ultimately, you're just going through with these characters that you don't care about. The dialogue was so clumsy and boring and uninspired. Chris Pratt, typically just you can't go wrong with Chris Pratt. I feel like even in a bad movie, it's like, oh, Chris Pratt was the highlight or whatnot, or Chris Pratt was funny or fun. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure you're always going to be able to like rally around like, well, Chris Pratt was fun. Even in this, I'm sure it was the writing letting him down here, just because he's firing on all cylinders 99% of the time. Just nothing going for this. It just landed so flat, so boring, so uninspired, so uncreative. I'm going to give this a 4.5 as well.
How did his character change? What happened to his character?
Are you asking me?
No, I mean his character.
Just like in general, like, his character.
His character becomes flatter through the entire series. Like in the first, you could almost see a character. In the second one, he becomes like a cardboard cutout of himself. By the last one, it's almost a joke. I'm actually wonder if the writers were like, we're going to make a joke about this, because at a certain point he meets like other characters in the Jurassic franchise, and basically they're like, oh, and what do? Do you train dinosaurs? Like, yeah, I train dinosaurs.
Yeah.
His introduction is basically like, I am a nothing person. That's who I am. I am nothing.
He stands for nothing. He has no true north. He has no ambition. It's just so flat. Again, I'm going to give this a 4.5. There's some good visuals in here. Honestly, the best scene in the movie, I think, was the opening scene with the submersible and whatnot. You get the lightning shot overhead, it illuminates the water, and you get that gloomy silhouette of the monster floating overhead. Like that's good suspense. Like that's well done. Like you got that in House of the Dragon too, last episode with the nuclear option at the end of that, at the end of this first season of that. Like you got that here. Like that was well done, and then the rest of the movie, just nothing memorable, nothing remarkable about it. Hollywood letting us down here with a big franchise and a lot of money, setting it on fire. Avoid it. Just watch the first Jurassic World, and it sounds like from what you guys are telling me, avoid Dominion as well. Just make this a one-off standalone thing. Just watch Jurassic World, enjoy that. And if this ever gets rebooted, it has to get rebooted.
Yeah, unless
someday.
You want to see BD Wong looking great at 60.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Then skip Dominion.
Yippers.
That's it. I'm glad we're on the same page on that. I was afraid like Zach was going to be like just 10, a true 12, Jurassic Park fanboy.
14 inches.
No, this is a bad fucking movie, and I still think this is the worst one out of all of them.
See, I actually, it's kind of funny because I do think there is an argument there, like which one is worse, Fallen Kingdom or Dominion? Because Dominion's weird, like it gets really weird, and I think there's some people that would look at that and be like, I like it because it's so weird. Like it starts to take some of the risks that this doesn't take, and the first one doesn't take, and so.
Jurassic Park 3 has a 5.9. Is that worse than this, would you say, Zach?
Jurassic Park 3? See, no, I don't. I think this is worse than Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, I definitely think that's true. I think the first trilogy, other than Jurassic World, I think Jurassic World is a solid entry. It's just, it's not particularly original. And so I think it's probably better than, it's possibly the second best, in reality when you look through them. But these ones are the worst too, easily. The Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. Mm-hmm. There's no question about that. I would say. I don't think there's any question. All right. Do we have any love it or hate it?
Oh, we do.
Thanks. I want to hear. Let me see. I want to hear love it first because I really want to hit it with that. I want to bring the hammer down on that hate it.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it.
hate it.
All right. So let's get to some love it, ladies and gentlemen. This comes from Alice Cross 2000, June 30th, 2019. Me and my parents love it. This movie's is a great sequel. It has all aspects of a great movie. I loved the visual effects so lifelike. Great comedy throughout, and at times sad. But I loved the idea they have now entered a new era at the end of the movie. So interesting. Can't wait for the next movie in 2021. 109 people found that helpful.
Sorry, when was that review from?
That review is from 2019.
So they see that's pre-pandemic. They were assuming 2021,
They were
but
assuming.
they did not foresee the pandemic.
They did not foresee the pandemic.
I couldn't see it on the horizon.
That was a 10 out of 10.
It's super embarrassing because I was like, in 2019, I was basically like, get ready for the pandemic.
We're overdue. You guys remember Spanish flu?
All right.
I think we're ready.
Hate it.
Okay. This comes from Think Geek, June 6th, 2022. So a little more recent. Think Geek titles this Terrible. The story is garbage. The new characters are cringe. The kills and violence have been toned down despite being marketed as darker. The Indoraptor was a joke. After Dominion, I hope they reboot. Just watch Primal or play Dino Crisis. 5 out of 5.
I thought of Dino Crisis when we were talking about Resident Evil. I'm like, man, I wish this was Dino Crisis. There's still got to be creative opportunities out there with dinosaurs. You can't tell me we've exhausted them all after 3 or 4 movies.
But this is a great segue into one of my other post recap questions, guys. What is the next series you want to reboot? We got a trilogy. We got a Star Wars trilogy. We got a Jurassic trilogy. Is there another? What's that? Dread? You want to know Dread?
Apparently, they're working on something with Carl Urban.
So it'll be the sequel to the reboot.
Yes, sort of pseudo sequel, sort of pseudo reboot, because they're rebooting Daredevil. So it's kind of weird, like how you've got this. I get what you're saying. Like a true reboot would be like probably new actors, new staff, and whatnot. But they're kind of doing that with Daredevil. But I want to reboot Dread, like a whole new series. I want to keep Carl Urban though as my titular character.
Yeah, so
that's a good one. I'm sure there's another one I'd think of that's a better one if I thought about it more. But I really enjoyed that initial reboot. That was a great movie. What's your answer to it, Jamie?
I think I need to. I think one of the great tragedies of her time, guys. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. Is Friday the 13th being tied up in litigation and not being able to release Friday the 13th films. Like it's absurd. It's the silliest of the horror franchises. It should be releasing all the time because it doesn't matter if they're particularly good or bad, but it just matters.
That's interesting.
That
is it not me? I feel like I've seen Jason. Is that because they're not able to reboot Friday the 13th, but they're able to like have the Jason character, like Jason versus Friday the 13th is Jason,
that was like 20
right?
years ago.
Yeah. But that was a long time ago, and they haven't essentially did the Michael Bay reboots. There hasn't been a Friday the 13th specifically because it's been tied up. So there's been a lot of like rumors. Oh, there's going to be a new movie. There's going to be a new movie. But it's been tied up at the same time that something like Halloween is releasing films.
Okay.
And I love Halloween. Right. Halloween's a great franchise, but Friday the 13th is the franchise in horror that should be releasing
like 14
all the time.
Halloween movies. I just had that question pop up at trivia a couple months ago.
Yeah, the one that's kind of weirdly taking its place, which there's really very little reason why, is Texas Chainsaw. Texas Chainsaw is like constantly releasing, like all the time. There's always these Texas Chainsaw films. Mostly not good, which is fine. There's no reason for them to necessarily be good. But it's weird that one ended up being the thing that kind of became more like what Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th should just be like, it's Halloween. Guess what's out? Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Part
Yeah, I mean,
12.
they pretty much
Great.
like they did it with Saw because it works. Like you just it's you know,
Yeah,
it's just,
yeah.
a masked villain is the same as just a different killing machine.
It's modular.
Just
keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Zach, do you have an answer? What you want to reboot?
Honestly, I mean, I've been sitting over here trying to think of something, and I'm kind of really overall anti reboot shit.
Good.
It just most of it just stains my mouth with shit. So I kind of don't have anything that I want to see rebooted. I just want to see new shit. Like I just want to see new stuff that actually makes me think, and it's not just like just visual effect porn.
I agree with that. Like everything that I can think of, I don't want to be ruined by what we're seeing Hollywood do. Like with case in point, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
Star
Wars.
Disagree. I'm the franchise guy. Love franchise. I you know what? Okay. Actually, I changed my answer. I want a second Mummy movie starring Tom Cruise. That's what I want.
I enjoyed the Brendan Fraser mummies. That's a good answer.
You know what? Bring them together.
If they were going to do it right, if I knew it was going to be done right, obviously, if it has to be done right. But like Lord of the Rings, but that's the original is so good. Like it has to somehow outdo that. Like or otherwise, don't touch it.
With Tom Cruise. That's how you outdo
with
it.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Because the TV series ended up
He would do all
sucking.
the stunts himself. That's the point. He would do all the stunts.
That definitely adds value to it. I do love Tom Cruise. I'm not a Tom Cruise hater.
All right.
Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. Reboot that. That was good. Alien.
I love that movie.
Alien. Reboot.
love
Reboot
that.
that.
You know
The
what?
Thing.
That's
John Carpenter's The Thing.
You know what? No, Alien's a good answer. Alien's a good answer from the point of view of like it was a franchise. It had a bunch of movies like kind of in series, and now you say reboot it.
Reboot it.
All right. I'm going to skip over some trivia since this doesn't matter, and we've wasted all this time with my questions, which are good. I love my questions, so don't even worry about it. But I will quickly do a Phantom Zone.
Engage the Phantom.
Phantom's engaged, sir.
No worries here because we got Jeff Goldblum. Obviously, we all know him from, and we can all say it together. Steve Zissou, right? Life Aquatic.
Yep.
I was going to say
Life Aquatic. Steve Zissou.
Easy enough. He shows up very briefly in this one, but that's enough for me. And then, so do you want to quickly do a Jeopardy?
Sure.
This is a great one. This is a really fun one.
Take your time. We're good. We're good. Take your time.
Don't speak for me.
Yeah. This is a super fun one. Summer movies is the category. Summer movies, guys. Ooh.
Is Jaws one of the answers?
It's not. Spoiler alert. So, Zach, somehow you gave the lowest score, so you get to go first. Do you want 400, 800, 1200, 1600, or 2000?
2,000, Bob.
Wow, you want to go 2000? This could be a tough one. Okay, it's a video one, so it's Kevin Hart. So pretend I'm Kevin Hart. I'm not going to be doing a voice or anything like that, but just pretend I'm Kevin Hart.
Okay.
And he's voicing Snowball at this point, so you know how much voice work he did for Snowball. I had an announcement to make in this 2016 animated film. Death is Coming to Brooklyn, and it's got buck teeth and a cottontail.
Is it The Secret Life of Pets?
It is The Secret Life of Pets. I wanted to make sure that you had the wording exactly correct, and that is true. It is The Secret Life of Pets. Very good. 2,000 points.
Oh my!
Bitches, that's a half court shot right there.
Oh my!
All right.
I was sitting here
got
just
big,
running like
when you said the
visual
answer, I'm like,
trailers
nah,
through
that
my
can't
head.
be right.
I mean, in my brain also, I was like, is secret the right word here? Oh, it is.
And that's
Secret
what.
Life
See,
of
like
Pets.
I'm literally sitting there. I'm just like, what's that weird worded animal movie that came out?
All right. Now you got a lot of a big gap to make up from. So do you want 400, 800, 1200, or 1600?
Let's do the 1200.
It's a good one because I think you might get this one. It was more park and less wreck for this actor who's back as Owen in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Who played Owen?
Who is Chris Pratt?
Very good. Okay, 1200,
What?
2000.
That was
That's
a
what you got.
$1,200.
1200. All right, 400,
Beautiful.
800, or 1600. Zach.
Well, give me the 1600.
I think you might
Putting
be
the boot on my
poised.
throat.
I think you might be poised to get this one, and you might see why. Computer and TV screen images are made of these, the title of a 2015 movie about video game characters attacking Earth.
He's been talking about this movie all day, Jamie.
There is absolutely no way this is. It's Pixels.
It's Pixels.
Do you actually like that movie, Zach?
Ashlyn and I loved it. It was maybe it just hit right. Maybe it's because I was hungover from an Adam Sandler party. I don't know. But it was a fun movie, and I'm a huge Josh Gad fan, and I thought he was fucking hilarious in it. And I really liked Pixels. I thought it was just fun.
All right, Brom, 400, 800. You can't even make up the gap, so it doesn't matter so much. What do you want?
I need him to blow the $800 question. So 400.
In 2017, there was plenty of robotic performances in The Last Night, a continuation of this action film series.
Say it one more time.
In 2017, there was plenty of
Transformers?
Yes, it's Transformers. All right, now you got to buzz in, guys. You got to buzz in. So he could he could just lay off the buzzer. Not to spoil the strategy here, but 800. Steve Carell voiced the main character and also his twin brother Drew, who was up to no good in this 3.
Buzz.
What is it?
What is Minions?
It is not Minions. Incorrect.
Oh,
incorrect.
Buzz.
What is it?
Despicable Me.
Oh, Despicable Me.
Yeah, no.
There we go. Yeah. He's got it. So I was even gonna allow you to try out the Final Jeopardy if you just had even a shot, Brom, but you don't. You didn't have a shot. You didn't have a shot.
I don't have a shot. No.
No. Zach just destroyed it.
Next time, bring your A game.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do. You're better.
All right, and
just fell right into his lap. My goodness.
Yeah, I know. It was a crazy one.
Well, that Pixels question couldn't have been more perfect.
It was crazy you picked it. As you were going through picking, I was like, I hope he picks the Adam Sandler one. I was like, oh, he did. And just one last question before I move on from my section, guys. This is the last one on my list here. Are clones twins? It's a big question for badmovietwins.com. That's badmovietwins.com. Do you think, like, if you think of clones, like, would this be a twin movie? Would Fallen Kingdom have been a twin movie?
No.
Zach, what's your opinion?
It's a clone movie.
Clone movie, not a twin movie. I do not think twin.
I agree.
Twin requires you being formed in the womb with your twin.
Is multiplicity...
A clone movie and a twin movie are two separate things. Yeah, definitely.
Right. I agree. It was a hard question, but I think I agree with you guys. So I'm glad we hashed that out.
Me too. I'm glad we solved the twin clone crisis.
Right.
All right.
My turn?
I think so.
Hit me with it.
Tube 3 ready to fire, sir.
Commence the countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give it to me.
All right, so as I alluded to, I have updated our official spreadsheet of submersion. Excited about that. It'll help us. I'm thinking about making it uneditable but accessible for our viewers so they can see what we've got coming up. This will help us with scheduling and things like that as well. And you can just go back and see informative information about movies that we've reviewed, where our scores landed. This will help us. This will help our listenership, and it's informative. I'm a data and analytics guy. I love crunching numbers, love looking at these numbers here. They're attractive numbers. What can I say? But in doing so and getting all of this together and organized, I learned some new stuff, got some important questions answered. We've talked about, has Patrick been on the podcast more than Alex at this point? Things like that. We have those answers now because everything has been fleshed out. We've got the points of data. Let's jump in here with some submersion fun facts for 2023 to kick us off here. Some new fun facts for everybody. Fact number 1. Submersion episodes have been recorded, with tonight included, in the year 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019. How far back do I go? 2018.
For sure, yeah.
in 2017, guys.
Oh my God, I would not have guessed the 17. I would not have guessed the 17.
We recorded many episodes in 2017, but they weren't released until 2018. That was the original buffet of 10 episodes.
Right. I forgot about that. I forgot Kyle held them, right?
Yep. So if
Guys,
I
that's a long time ago.
extrapolate the math, there's probably 5 or 6 episodes that were recorded all the way back in 2017.
I was only 15. I was only
time
15 when we started. That's crazy.
You look great. You're a regular BD Wong.
Yeah, okay. I think it would be the opposite if that was true.
Next one here for you guys. Fun fact number 2. We've had a guest reviewer on how many episodes? I'll let you guys guess on this number here. A guest reviewer on how many episodes?
That's a good.
We've had 20 guest reviews, but 19 episodes featured a guest review. Because one episode had 2 guest reviews.
Oh. But now you're asking.
What's the question?
Yeah, what's the question?
How many episodes have had a guest reviewer on? So someone to sit with us through the recap and give their review of the film.
But didn't you just say it? You just said it.
I did not give the number.
Oh, I thought you said
I
20.
said 19. Yeah.
2019.
I said the number?
You said 20. You said 20,
20,
but then there was 19 because there was 19
Oh, did I
episodes,
say
but one of them double. Yeah, you said it. Then we got confused with what you were actually asking.
Oh my God.
Jamie and I were
I've been
sitting
drinking
there
wine,
like-
guys. I'm a half bottle deep. Well, there you go. We've had a guest reviewer on 19 episodes.
I can't wait to go back and listen to that. segment.
Genuinely can't even replay it in my brain. There's no way. I'm like, there's no way I said the number.
You said 20, then you said it was actually 19 because we had 2 on one episode.
Wow.
It's happening, people.
The magic of wine. I got to do fun facts on the invention of wine at some point. 19, though. Guess how many then, I will not say this number, were Patrick. How many times has Patrick joined us?
10. I'm gonna guess 10.
That's a good guess. I would say more than that. I'd say 12.
Fantastic guesses, guys. Correct answer, 13. Patrick has joined us for 13 episodes. Alas, Alex has been still on over 50 episodes with us.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. We need
Patrick
to get
has some
back.
ground to make up. Yeah, it's hard to believe. He's been on 1/3 of the episodes. It really doesn't feel like it. But Alex has been...
There was all the time back in the beginning.
That's true.
Couple of little fun facts here and doing my re-listening and getting scores to fill out the spreadsheet. Episode 139, Torpedo U-235. Kyle, Jamie, and myself harmonized in singing which Aerosmith song? You know what this would be?
This would be.
Is it the one from Armageddon? Yeah.
Sleep 'cause I miss you, baby.
That?
That's exactly
Yeah.
And that'll be a trivia question someday when Brom, Jamie, and Zach harmonized on it. That is the correct answer. Don't want to miss a thing. There were some Armageddon references there in Torpedo U-235. In episode 146, Jungle Cruise, for the first time ever, Jamie dubbed his review segment the J Spot.
Cool.
Is that real?
That is a real fact. You're like, I'm going to come in here, guys. I'm going to come in here second with
What episode was
with the
that?
Jamie spot, the J Spot, if you will.
I must have been drinking
Episode
some wine that night, too.
146. I was the only person laughing at it, I'm pretty sure. But I was dying. Speaking of Jamie, he's pitched dozens of podcast ideas during submersion episodes. A few of my favorites include a podcast about full body burns,
That's a good one.
a podcast about movies filmed in the Salton Sea, and Stormcast, the podcast described by Jamie as dedicated to talking about every storm that rolls through.
I love that. Stormcast.
So
I like the how intermittent that would be.
sure.
Like a storm starts rolling through, and you got to do Stormcast.
Sometimes just a very middling storm. Just like, couple Roof was blown off. The lanai was blown off of that motorhome over there. Want to talk about it? Yeah, let's hop on the pod.
Yeah, you know what? I got a new podcast idea. If you guys want to hear it out,
yeah, sure.
It's talking about all the Ed Harris. It's basically just called the Ed Harris cast, or the Harris cast, or the EH cast, or the Ed cast, Ed TV.
What about the Harry ED cast?
Harry ED.
And it's basically talking about all the movies that he's in, which includes, actually, I don't know if you knew this, but he was supposed to be in Fallen Kingdom. But I don't know, like it fell through when he made his demands on which role he would play. Do you know what role he wanted to play in the film?
Well, probably every dinosaur.
The Indoraptor? Yeah, the Indoraptor.
Come on, guys. It was obviously Blue, the hero of the film. But then they were totally open. They were like, definitely mocap. Get your mocap on. He was like, no, I'm going to be fully in the nude, body paint, and that's how we're doing it now. And they had to decline.
Shoot,
because they said they were going for PG-13. That would obviously give them an X rating, so they couldn't do it. But they were open to that too. If they could have gotten the PG-13.
Hanging brain.
Exactly.
Wow, that would have bumped up the score for me. But that's it.
And that's a preview for the episode of the next Ed Harris cast, or the Ed TV as we call
it. All right. Well, that's it for me.
Nice.
We can end it there. Or I was going to say, in my research, going through all my notes, I found that I had a top 10 movies from the past 10 years that we used on the underwater episode. And we had a friend, Bridget, asking, appealing today on our Discord for new movies to watch. And we gave a list of recommendations. It wasn't just pigeonholed to the past 10 years. It was just any movies. She's not a big movie buff, so we had a lot of people chiming in with some of their favorite movies. But I saw this here, and it made me think about this past year, really, if there was any new movies that I was able to add to my list of favorite movies. And I got to say, I really enjoyed, and we hadn't really talked. We missed so much of this past year. We recorded in like January, and we missed out until just last month or so. So I was wondering if you guys had watched anything in this past year that immediately jumped onto your favorite movies. Obviously, I really enjoyed The Batman and Top Gun Maverick. I think Top Gun Maverick probably breaks into like my top 15, top 20 movies of all time. I thought it was that good.
Are you talking about 2022 films or just films we watched in 2022?
I guess it could be films you watched for the first time in 2022, but yeah, I mean,
2022
films as well.
I'm thinking, I got to think of this as 2022 films. I can't think of it as watching a new film in 2022. But just right off the top, The Batman. That was so fucking kick-ass. I loved it. And I know that's just a big fucking superhero movie, but I really did like that movie. I thought it was awesome. But I got to I guess I got to kind of go through some real quick. I really like Prey. Prey was good.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. The Predator.
I'm going to be a little. I'm going to be a bit of a basic B, if you will.
Sure.
Yeah.
But Tar, if you guys haven't seen Tar, really very
T-A-R?
T-A-R. Probably going to get nominated for Best Picture.
Here it is.
And it's probably going to win Best Actress for Cate Blanchett. I thought it was very good. It's quite long, but yeah, it was one of those films that me and Patrick saw in theaters. We came out, we're like, do we like that? I'm not sure. And then we discussed it all the way out into the parking lot, discussed it for like 40 minutes further in the parking lot as we just like hashed out everything and continued to talk about it for the next couple of days. And by the end of it, it's like, oh yeah, no, I really like that. And so it's one of those films that just kept on talking all the way through the different things. It's very ambiguous, pristine script. I mean, if there was going to be something that I'd point to is like, obviously the acting was amazing in it, but the script is just like everything is very purposeful and precise, but ambiguous. So there's a lot to hash and chew on as you kind of work your way through the film in the end. And then one I watched actually just recently that I was surprised that I liked. And I would say like Top Gun Maverick, Batman, these are all ones that I enjoyed quite a bit as well. But one I was surprised by is I actually watched Elvis, and I've been putting it off. I'm like, I'm not going to watch Elvis.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch Elvis. I watched Elvis. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. for like how bad it could be. Like biopics can be pretty bad, and I just thought it was really inventive. And the way that they did that, kind of maybe started to get a little bit, paint by numbers at the end as it tried to like land the plane on its biopicness. But I actually thought it was a lot of fun and gave you the idea of what it probably felt like to watch someone like Elvis at the time. Which must have been a thrilling experience.
Sure, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was good. I liked Elvis too.
Yeah, I need to watch that. I need to watch that. And like I guess my corollary to your experience with Tar, probably the closest thing for me would be Das Boot. Honestly, watching that the first time, coming out of it, like I knew I liked it when I finished it, but I was like, it's just one that I thought about. It's just constantly just like running around in my head, and when I wasn't actively applying myself to something over like the next 48 hours, my mind would just drift thinking about that movie, and it just kept growing on me and thinking more about the messaging of that movie and whatnot, and that's one that really grew into just being like, wow, it's just like one of my favorite movies of all time now. So,
is there one that you would
something I need to check out?
Any anti-recommendations by you guys? Is there one where you're like, F that movie?
That's a tougher question to answer.
That is a tougher question.
Not for me, because I watch so many horrible movies, and I have like a bunch like at my fingertips to be like, one I was watching today. I actually haven't quite finished it, but I was just watching Firestarter, the new Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah, Zac Efron. Zac Efron.
Inside joke. Woof. Oh, woof!
Not good.
Not good. No, it is not good. And then if people want to see some kind of sad action, both the Liam Neeson films this year, Blacklight and Memory, both of those are some dire stuff.
I'm not surprised about that.
Not good, but
I was a little disappointed with Black Phone. It was still a good movie, but that was probably one of the more disappointing 2022 films that I watched this year, based on what I kind of built up in my head that it was going to be. I thought it was going to be awesome, and it fell a little short for me. Zach, you got anything?
I'm trying to look through a list because honestly, I can't think of something. I don't know. I just feel like
You and I went and saw Nope together. I thought that kind of fell middle of the pack for me. It was all right.
Really? I love Nope. I love Nope.
I would not steer away from that at all.
I would think first I found Nope very unsettling. Actually, that would be a good answer for one. That's better than Elvis. I like Nope better than Elvis. But the one thing I would say about Nope is that like Tar is so ambiguous and kind of self-contained that you can really hash it out. Like you could just talk with someone about it a bunch, and there's no like right or there's not necessarily like a right or wrong to it. Like you can just kind of like, chit chat about it and figure it out. Nope. It seems like there's some deep thinking going on and some allegories to history of Hollywood and stuff like that, where I'm just like, I don't know any of this. Like, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to pick this. I'm going to I had to like read like reviews and like analysis of the film to finally be like, oh, okay, yeah, I get those aspects of it. But I found it deeply unsettling, which I guess is, I at the time as I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is why I'm watching it. So I'm quite enjoying this. That like I'm finding this like idea of this particular alien quite unsettling. It's like a much better version of Signs in a lot of ways. Like the aliens in Signs are like super silly. And then this alien in Nope, I was like, oh boy, I find this like deeply unsettling, which that's the point. So I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It's kind of middle of the pack, though. I think I watched maybe like 6 or 7 2022 films this year. It's probably kind of in the middle for me.
Did you guys watch Everything Everywhere?
I did not.
I did not.
Oh, you haven't?
I've heard a lot of people said they love that one.
Yeah, so we can discuss that on a future episode.
Was there a submarine?
There was not a submarine. Just surprisingly, if you think about the film, you would think that there would be a submarine, and maybe there was, and you just miss it. I have no idea.
All right, do we have anything else?
I don't think so, Zach. Play us out with your favorite sound clip.
It's Zach Facts. It's Zach Facts when you're going down. It's Zach Facts when you're going down.
All right, I completely forgot about Zach Facts.
I thought this was all part of your bit.
Sorry, not a bit. Letting my friend down here. Zach Facts, honestly, one of my favorite segments. I can't believe I forgot. Zach, regale us here. I'm going to go over under 3.5, Jamie.
Under. I always win.
3. All right, I'm thinking he's got 4 or more. Give it to me, Zach.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time ever. We have a first time ever, and this is because there's so many Chris Pratt fans out there. They were tweeting up a storm. They were blowing up social media. I mean, there's been nothing going on in the news or in the world, so they're just all blowing it up. All they want is the Chris Pratt Zach facts.
There's got to be a pun in there somewhere.
So here it comes.
Pratt facts.
This is the Chris Pratty wacky zacky faxy. Fact number 1. Chris Pratt demanded to be called Chris Bratty and would be spanked 15 times a nighty night. Fact number 2. Pricey Dally Wally drank and would only drink Fuji Wooji Water Wooey.
God.
What is happening?
I'm not enjoying this.
And the last one, fact number 3.
Jamie, you won.
No Diney Whinies were hurt during the filming of this movie. Oh, there it is.
Wow.
Do you feel like a winner right now, Jamie?
No, yes, I do. Because normally I go under so that if he gives us more facts, I feel still like a winner. But I would not have felt like a winner. This is the only winning situation is less of that and whatever that was.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but I for one, I'm glad it happened.
That was for a very small, select few fans out there.
Thank you for listening to Submersion. Don't forget to subscribe for new episodes every Thursday. If you like what you heard, please leave us a rating wherever you listen. Want to interact with us? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also love to get messages from all of you. If you have a suggestion, a comment, or just anything you'd like to share, please email us at macestudios@gmail.com.